Hey, hold on real quick. Hold on.
Well, I know a couple episodes I was like, he's not that funny, man. But
I definitely saw that episode.
yeah, I know it was blasphemous. I actually looked at like a bunch of his shit and like he's funny, so I apologize. My bad.
Well, you know what I think it is, honestly? I remember there was that movie, I Think I Love My Wife, and he actually kind of played it serious.
Yeah.
That was like one of the more recent things he did, even though it was kind of obscure. So maybe you're thinking about that and like, well, he wasn't funny in that because he wasn't.
Because I'm thinking about the movies, not the stand-up. You know, so that's why I was like comparing.
I don't know. Down to Earth is a movie, and I love that movie.
Down to Earth was a classic. I remember that.
Head of State.
Head of State.
Yeah.
Security.
That was a good one. Pootie Tang. Not that it was like that funny, but it was just kind of like weird, you know. But like
Pootie Tang
funny,
is
weird.
a GOAT movie. Yeah.
Chris Rock is one of those comedians. I'm happy where his career went. Like he played it smart. He started off with like these very tragic roles when he played what was his name?
Pookie.
Pookie. Yes, and he played Pookie, the crackhead. We didn't know where his career was going, and he got denied on SNL like 3-4 times. You guys can look that up. He was a guest several times, but like he's one of those comedians. If you're a comedian out there, I know Chance and Mike, you guys have did stand up. I would kind of like study that man's career path because he actually did good. Yes, I did my research. Like, don't be too surprised.
And Chris Rock is like very thought provoking. So like y'all said, Chance, I remember he's like everybody comes from the school of rock, like your Dave Chappelle's. And like I understood that when I watched the stand up, like damn, he says shit to make you like damn, you know, like that's pretty deep. But let me think about that, you know.
Sounds like another podcast, Mike. Top 5 comedians.
It does. Hey, comics are funny, man. I like, well, obviously, but I like stand up.
Yeah,
that was the quote of the year. Comics are funny. Nah, but for real, I like stand up. Stand up's I want to get more into it. We did do it before. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I watched you guys stand-up comedy.
I know, dope, man. Crowd was good. Like it was a good crowd. You know, like I was glad to be there.
Where do you guys think comedy is gonna go after this whole pandemic passes? Because I know some comedians are trying to get out there and put their material out, and unfortunately, like D.L. Hughley was one of those people performing and actually caught corona. So, like, where do you guys think comedy is gonna go?
I think that there's a lot of challenges with trying to do it now, like through COVID. I mean, I've heard some people have talked about doing like this, like Zoom, like stand up. That can't really work because you work off the crowd, you know?
Yes.
And I mean, you don't really know if the jokes are landing or not. And you're like, you know, like you're not gonna, most people aren't gonna have their cameras on, you know? Like I've seen that firsthand. Most people that you have meetings with don't have the camera on. So I think that's hard because there's a lot of people that go all the time to do stand-up to stay sharp on that craft. I mean, like the pros, not like, I mean, even people that are working towards it, but, you know, all those reps are gone. And, you know, I think now society is becoming so much more sensitive that you can't say shit anymore. And what's funny about stand-up comedy is when people push the envelope. They say some shit that you don't expect, and you're like, oh my God, that's funny. That's so true. Like, shit, I didn't really think about that. Or I can't believe
an epiphany with what something they're saying.
Right. Or I can't believe she said that. You know, like it's all about pushing the envelope, and you really can't do that anymore. And then on top of that, you see a lot of these rising stand-up comics like Chris D'Elia, even now Brian Callen. Not that he's rising, but, you know, he's been off and on. Now, like, they're all being caught up in the Me Too stuff. Aziz Ansari. But I think those have kind of just, you know, like the Aziz one, I thought was total bullshit. The Chris D'Elia one, you know, when you look into the story and you see kind of the continuation of the emails that he saw, he always backed out every time he realized he was about to cross the line. But they don't show that side. They just show the beginning half, the half they want to show that pushes the agenda of this guy's a menace. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of comics now probably are even nervous or scared. I mean, think about Chappelle's, not 846, but the one before that with the trans stuff that I don't think he said, I mean, nothing out of bounds. I mean, he had the one where he was on the nose provoking people, but it was kind of meta.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Are you talking about the part where he was talking about the car, like everyone in the car and stuff like that?
That one was good. Yeah. I mean, he's done it a lot, but like comedy is meant to make people laugh. It's just kind of like an escape from society. It's an escape from the problems in the world. I don't want to go to a to a theater, you know, watching stand up and feel uncomfortable because, you know, everybody's having to do stand up on eggshells and can I even laugh at this? Like, I don't know. Is that okay? Like, do I need to sign some papers to be able to laugh at it? Is it approved? Like,
Yeah.
so I'm glad you brought it up because I really don't know. I'm scared for comedy.
One person I do miss in the comedy world is Patrice O'Neal. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah, Patrice.
That man would push buttons beyond the limit. He called you out your name. He said the craziest. And I feel like if Chance works on his craft, he could go there. Segue.
I think Chance needed to get a little edgier in the stand-up.
Oh yeah, I told him he can work on his material and it'll be there if he definitely has the voice for it.
Chance and I are similar in the sense that like we're storytellers. I feel like you could have told more stories instead of like punchlines, you know? That's why there's always round two though, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta come
we
out.
only did that one time, man, but I can't wait to go back. Remember that time we saw that the one chick, I think the night we did it, it was like the one chick, her name was like Debbie something.
I saw she did something recently outside, right?
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah, she actually like did a show that was like a social distance show. So I don't know, maybe we gotta
like
with her.
Not the same content at all, but like that same kind of setup, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. But I don't know. Like that goes to adjusting. You know what I'm saying? Like adjusting to the times. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ways around it. We just gotta take the time out and actually like try to do it. You know.
I will say this: with comedy coming straight out of the pandemic, we're gonna get so overwhelmed with coronavirus jokes, COVID-19 jokes, quarantine jokes. I am not looking forward to those jokes because they're gonna be so dead at that point. I don't want to hear them because, of course, you got your little Instagram jokes, you got your Facebook jokes that are circulating, they're funny memes and stuff like that. I do not want to see my favorite comedian stand up there to tell a joke that's going to be so dead that it's hilarious that they brought it up. Not that they told a joke about it, but just the fact that they even tried.
Right. Yeah, that'll be. I'm worried about that too. You know, and right now I think it's hard too because, you know, in a lot of stand up, you kind of do commentary on everyday life, and you'll kind of bitch about, you know, little inconveniences and shit like that. Kind of seems like silly, I guess, to do that right now. You know, everybody's like, yeah, everything sucks. Like, of course, you're not telling me anything I don't know. So I mean, I could see that being kind of a challenge too. But to Chance's point, you know, it's all about, you know, adapting to the times and kind of learning. But I don't know, man. Like, you know, I know everything that I wrote down, you know, because I worked on my bit, and Chance, I know you worked on your shit too. When I was looking at it, I'm like, all right, you know, I just wrote what came to mind. But before I went up there, I was like, wait, let me make sure nobody's going to get offended. Let me just give it. You shouldn't have to think that. You know what I mean? Like, you just go out there and let it flow. But
Wanda Sykes speaks on that. If you guys actually look back at her, she talks about, like, she's not going to censor herself to appease anyone. Like, if you are that sensitive, don't show up to my comedy set. Like, you're going to be that mad. Like, just don't show up.
Chance, you remember when Wanda Sykes was our 7th grade PE teacher?
Yeah.
Coach Curry, she looked just like her.
Like, yo, y'all gotta do some jumping jacks.
That was right when that show came out too.